Good morning, students all. We'll start the objective part of motion in a straight line in physics. Motion in a straight line is completed. We'll start the objective part of that lesson. Before going to that lesson, we'll discuss how the examination patterns will be there, how many exams will be there, competitive examination, how the weightage for the chapters will be there, and how the exam pattern will be there. For that, we will discuss one by one. First of all, you will have mainly 3 exams. First one will be CET, second one will be NEET, third one will be G main, fourth one will be G advanced. Of course, after the qualifying of the G main, G advanced exam will be there. So we will discuss about these first 3 examination. First one will be CET, second one will be NEET, third one will be G main. So in the CET examination, I am talking about the physics only. In the CET physics, totally 60 questions will be there. CET, how many questions will be there in physics? 60 questions will be there. And in these 60 questions, 45 will ask from the second PUC and 15 will ask from the first PUC. So comparing to the first PU, second PU is important relating to CET examination. If we consider the NEET examination, in the physics totally 45 questions will be there. How many questions will be there means 45 questions will be there. In this, 22 will ask from the first PU portions, 23 they will ask from the second PU. From the first PU portions 22, second PU 23, means what will happen? Equal weightage will be there both for first PU and second PU in a NEET examination. If you consider the G main examination, in this, in physics totally 25 questions will be there. In this 25, 12 from the first PU, 13 from the second PU they will ask. 12 questions from the first PU, 13 from the second PU means if you are aiming for both G main or NEET, you have to give equal priority for both first year and second year. If you are concentrating on the CET, you have to focus more on the second PU and less percentage, 25% questions only will come from the first PU portions. 75% means 45 questions will come from the second PU portions. These are the 3 exams after completion of PU. Just now you joined the first PU. After that 2 years you have to write these 3 exams. This is for medical, these 2 for engineering. Either for CET or G main. Both are for engineering. This is for medical. Understanding? Now, in physics, how many chapters are there? What is the weightage of the chapters we will discuss. Then you will get a clear idea about that examinations, which chapters are important, where to concentrate, what are the easy topics, how to score more questions from that chapters. Like that we will go through the chapter weightage of each chapter in NEET and in CET and in the G main. Okay, write down all of you. So totally, if you consider the first PU, 15 chapters will be there. Totally 15 chapters will be there in the first PU. In the second PU, 14 chapters will be there. How the weightage will be there? Let us see. So, first PU, Okay, I am talking about the physics, remember. So totally how many chapters will be there means, first one will be physical world, second one will be units and measurements. First one will be physical world, second one will be units and measurements. Next, third one will be motion in a straight line. Fourth lesson will be motion in a plane. Next, fifth one will be laws of motion. Next, sixth one will be work, energy and power. Okay, next, seventh one will be system of particles and rotational motion, system of particles. Next, eighth one will be gravitation. Okay, how the weightage will be there? If we consider NEET examination, if you consider CET examination, if you consider GMAIN examination, how the weightage will be there? Let us see. Here no question, no question, no question. Physical world is just an introductory part, no question will come from that. So no question from the physical world. If you take units and measurements, here it will be 1, here also 1. GMAIN we will discuss later. Next, motion in the straight line, if you take, here it is 1. Motion in the plane, here it is 1. Laws of motion 1. Work power energy 2. System of particles 3. Gravitation 1. If you consider the CET part, motion in the straight line 1. Motion in the plane 1. Laws of motion 1. Work energy and power 1. System of particles 2. Next, gravitation 1. At the end we will discuss the GMAIN, how it will be there. Okay, write it down all of you. All of you write down the weightage. Then you will get an idea about this. These are the first 8 chapters. By observing this, looking this, what we can say, system of particles is important topic. If you concentrate on the system of particles, 3 questions you can easily answer in the NEET, 2 questions you can answer in the CET, like that. More weightage topics we will consider and easy topics also. Units and measurements, if you take, units measurements will be simple topic only. So one question will come from each NEET and CET. We can easily score that questions. Gravitation will be easy. So these questions, so we will, if we concentrate, we have to make a plan. Easy chapters, important, more weightage topics. If you focus, definitely we will crack the NEET, no doubt in that. Whatever it may be the examination, definitely we can crack that examination. There is no doubt in that. Next chapters, if we see, okay. Next, 9th, mechanical properties of solids, mechanical properties of solids. 10th, mechanical properties of fluids, mechanical properties of fluids. Next, 11th, thermal expansion of materials, thermal expansion of materials. Next, 12th, thermodynamics. 13th, kinetic theory of gases, KTG, kinetic theory of gases. Next, 14, oscillations. 15, waves. So these are the total 15 topics what are there in the first PU. So if we consider this, in mechanical properties of solids, from these, one question will come here, one question will come here in the CET also. Okay. Next, mechanical properties of fluids, if you take, here also one, here also one. Thermal expansion of materials, if you take, here two questions will come, here one question will come. Thermodynamics, if you take, here two questions, here two questions. Kinetic theory of gases, here one, here it will be no question. Oscillations, if you take, two questions. Waves, three questions. Here it will be 1 and 1. If you count totally, this becomes 22, it will becomes 15. You count it all, you will get these numbers. So overallly 22 questions will come from the first PU. In a NEET examination, 15 questions will come for the CET from the first PU portions. Whereas if we consider the G-main examination, in the G-main examination, only 25 questions will be there. Total chapters both in first PU and second PU will be 29 chapters. That's why randomly they will change the chapters. How we had to consider is, up to this first 10 lessons, starting from the physical world, up to this 10 lessons, mechanical properties of fluids, we can consider it as a mechanics. From the mechanics part, 8 questions will come. One question may come from the work energy power, one question may come from the system of particles, no question will come from the physical world. Like that, slightly they are changing. Overallly, from the first 10 lessons, you will get 8 questions. Next, this 3 lessons part will be called as the heat part. What is meant by, what are the lessons in the heat part? Thermal expansion of materials, thermodynamics, kinetic theory of gases. These 3 lessons are called as the, comes under the category of heat. From the heat, you will get 2 questions. This will be waves and oscillations part. From this part, you will get 2 questions. So totally how many questions we will get is 12. So 8 questions from the mechanics, 2 questions from the heat, 2 questions from the waves and oscillations. Like that, weightage will be there for the G-main examination. For the second year, second PU weightage, we will discuss that one later because you are in the only first year, first PU. Then we will start the lesson, motion in a straight line. Okay. Okay. First we will discuss the synopsis. After completion of the synopsis, what are the problems are there in the booklet provided by us. Already I shared the PDF of that. You take the printout of that. Books will come. For a temporary time being, you take that one chapter printout. When classes are starting, we will distribute the books to you. Then directly, no need to take the printouts and everything. We will discuss all the problems in the book. Okay. In this initially, what is meant by distance? What is meant by displacement? Distance means the actual length of the path travelled by the body is called distance. The actual length of the path travelled by the body, the actual length of the path travelled, the actual length of the path travelled by a body is called distance. Distance will be a scalar quantity. Next, what is meant by displacement? The shortest path between initial and final positions. The shortest path between initial and final positions is called displacement. Okay. Displacement will be a vector quantity. Distance will be a scalar quantity. Both are having the same SI units, meter. CGS unit will be centimeter. It is a scalar and it is a vector. Already you know about this. In the board they discussed this one theory part. Now in competitive examinations, how the questions will be there? What is the relation between these two? See, the relation between displacement and distance is displacement always less than or equal to distance. So displacement always less than or equal to distance. Clear? This is the relation between these two. Means displacement value may be equal to distance, may be less than a distance, but it never be greater than a distance. Okay? And displacement distance is always positive. Distance value we will get always positive. Displacement may be positive or zero or negative. Displacement may be positive, may be zero or negative, but distance will be always positive. Okay? Then we will discuss some examples to understand this. Then we will take some examples for this. For example, a body started from here and came to the point B by traveling 5 meter. Okay? A body came from A to B by traveling 5 meters. In this case, what is the distance? What is the displacement? Okay? In this case, what is the displacement and distance? So body is moving in the straight line. When body is moving in the straight line, distance, displacement, both values will be same. Here distance is 5 meter, displacement is also 5 meter. Understanding? Shortest path between any 2 points is a straight line, nothing but. Already body is moving in the straight line. Therefore, distance, displacement values will be same. Next. For example, body started from here, traveled 12 meter, turned like this, traveled 5 meter, and finally came to the point B. It traveled 12 meter like this along x-axis. Later along y-axis it traveled 5 meter. In this case, what is the distance? What is the displacement? Distance means actual length of the path traveled. Here this is 12, this is 5. Totally 17 meter it has traveled. So distance is equal to 17 meter. What is the displacement? Displacement is shortest path between initial and final positions. This is initial, this is final. Straight line will be the shortest path. Here right angle triangle will form. In this right angle triangle, this hypotenuse is equal to square root of side square plus side square, Pythagoras theorem. So what is this value? Square root of 12 square plus pi square. So this is nothing but 144 plus 25. Root 169 means 13 meters. So in this case, displacement will be 13 meter. Here what happened? Displacement value will be less than distance. Because body changed, body is not going in the straight line. Here direction of the body is changed. Next, one more example we will take to understand this. Here body started from A. It traveled 10 meter, reaches to this intermediate point. From there again it is turned back, crossing A, finally it came to the point B. Let this is 4 meter. Clear? It started from A, reaches to this intermediate point. Again from there it turned back, finally it came to this point. Then what is the distance? What is the displacement? Distance means it moved 10 meter forward. Back here to here. How much it is there? 10 plus 4, 14. So totally here this will be 10 forward, backward 14. So totally 24 meter. That will be the distance traveled by the body. Understanding all of you? So 10 meter forward, 14 meter backward. A is starting point, B is ending point. So in this case, distance will be 24. Then what is the displacement? So along positive x-axis body went here. So this will be, we will consider it as plus. From here it is going along the negative x-axis. This is negative x-axis direction, that we will consider it as negative. So minus 4 meter. So in this example, what is the distance means 24. What is the displacement means minus 4. See here, distance will be always positive. Displacement may be positive, may be negative. We'll take some more examples. For example, a body is moving in a circular path. Body is moving in the circular path. Let us assume R is the radius of that circular path. Body started from here. The radius of this circle, how much I am assuming? R. So body started from here. By making one rotation like this, it came again to A. Body again came to the starting point. So where it is started, again body came to here. In this case, what is the distance? What is the displacement? The length of this path is nothing but circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Therefore, distance value will be equal to 2 pi r. Body came to the starting point, na? So there is no shortest path between initial and final. Initial, final positions both are located at the same point. That's why displacement value will be equal to 0. So in this example, displacement value is 0, distance value is positive. So what we can say, displacement may be positive, may be negative, may be 0. Distance will be always positive. Clear? The relation between distance and displacement is displacement less than or equal to distance. Okay? Next, we'll take some more examples here. Here body moving in the circular path. Okay? It started from A, it came to B after making half rotation. It came from A to B. Now, what is the distance? What is the displacement? Distance is nothing but this one. This path length is how much? This is half of the circumference, 2 pi r by 2. This value equal to pi r. Then what is the distance, displacement? This is displacement, shortest path between initial and final positions. Already we assumed r is the radius, so this length is equal to diameter. Diameter is 2r, so displacement value will be equal to 2r. So displacement is 2r, distance value will be pi r. Next, for example, body started from here, these are the diameters, it came to the point B. This is starting point, this is ending point. Then what is the distance? What is the displacement? Distance is nothing but 1/4 of the circumference. So it becomes 2 pi r by 4. This is pi r by 2. Total circumference of the circle will be 2 pi r. In that 1/4 part you have to consider 2 pi r by 4 is pi r by 2. Then in this case, what is the displacement? What I told, what we are discussing, displacement is shortest path between initial and final positions. This is starting, this is ending. So this will be the displacement. This one. We know this as R. This is also equal to R. This will be how much? Right angle triangle is formed like this. R. This value will be equal to root 2R, hypotenuse. So displacement value will be root 2R. Body came from here to here. Okay? Like this questions will be there. Next. We'll discuss some more. Next, 8. Body is moving in the circular path. Okay. It started from A. These are the diameters. It came to B after making 3/4 revolution, 3/4 rotation. It came to the point B. Then in this case, what is the displacement? What is the distance? It came here like this, it came to here in this way, in clockwise direction. So what will happen? This value will be, total will be 2 pi r. Half will be pi r. Pi r plus pi r by 2. Totally this value 3 pi r by 2. Up to here how much? Pi r. This will be how much? Pi r by 2. Pi r plus pi r by 2. Pi r plus pi r by 2. This is equal to 3 pi r by 2. That will be distance. What is displacement? This is displacement. Again same, triangle is formed. This is r. We know this is r. This value is equal to hypotenuse root 2r. Okay. So here distance will be 3 pi r by 2. Displacement will be root 2r. Next. We'll take some more example. Now, here this is the circle. For your understanding, I am drawing bit bigger diagram. This is circle. These are diameters. Radius of the circle is same, r. Now it came from A to B in this path. In this case, what is the distance? What is the displacement? Like that questions will be there. It came from A to B. The line joining A and B and center, this angle is theta. They will give theta value. They will ask to calculate what is the distance, what is the displacement. How to calculate, I will explain. Let us see. First, distance. We know, or I know, angle is equal to arc length by radius formula. Angle is equal to arc length by radius. Here angle is how much? Theta. Arc length is AB. Radius is r. This circle is having radius r only. So then AB is equal to r theta. AB is nothing but distance. So if body moves from A to B like this, then what is the displacement means, distance means r into theta. Clear understanding? Now what is displacement? What is displacement of the body? For calculating the displacement, this angle theta displacement is this one. This is called displacement. Here I am assuming another point C. Then this angle will be half of theta. That's value is equal to theta by 2. AB will be the displacement, this one. Okay. Then to find that, I am considering this, how to calculate the displacement C. From triangle OAC, from triangle OAC, if you write sin theta by 2, this triangle, sin theta by 2 is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So AC by R. Then AC is equal to R sin theta by 2 AC. AB is equal to how much means AC CB will be same only. So that's why AB will be displacement, that is equal to 2AC. This is equal to 2r sin theta by 2. So body moves in the form of an arc on the circle, then its distance value will be equal to r theta. Its displacement value will be equal to 2r sin theta by 2. Okay. So you are writing that tabular form like that, you are writing na. Write it down first or write it later. You just mark it there. If body moves in the circular path in the form of an arc, this is distance. In this case, what is the distance means r theta. What is the displacement means 2r sin theta by 2. Like this questions will be there on the distance and displacement. Clear? So what is the distance means? Actual length of the path travelled is called distance. Shortest path between initial and final positions is called displacement. Relation between them is what? Displacement less than or equal to distance. Displacement less than or equal to distance means displacement by distance less than or equal to 1. Bring this distance to here. Displacement by distance, this value will be less than or equal to 1. Clear? So with this we will stop now. Just totally we can divide this chapter into 5 subtopics. First one will be distance and displacement. Second one will be speed, velocity, average velocity, acceleration will come. Next, horizontal motion, vertical motion means freely falling body, vertically projected body. 5 subtopics we will discuss in this lesson. Today we will stop with this. Go through this, write the notes, follow the synopsis. Later we will come to the problems. Okay.